I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, when I first came into it, I wasn't sure. Being on Zoom, it was my first time using Zoom, and are the instructors going to be readily available? They were awesome. Whenever you needed them, they were there. But the thing I liked about them is they didn't hold your hand through everything. They would help you if you really get stuck. Truly, they're there, but also they build you up as they're teaching you. So it's like training wheels, and then they slowly take them off until you're riding the bike.
I was driving on the Market Interchange and I saw a billboard and it said, "Learn to code." And I said, well, I hate my job, so that sounds like fun. It was the best decision I ever made, financially, professionally, personally, all of the above.
The motivation that I gained from having the instructors, having the project prompts that we were given, having my cohort to work alongside me and for us to bounce things off of each other, all of those things combined, the pair programming and the group project, a lot of that stuff is just stuff you don't get on your own. If I could have held on to my money and, just worked at home on my own, but there's a ton of stuff I would have missed out on. So yes, I definitely would recommend it for most people.
I was a little bit nervous about the online learning, but it was different than anything I've ever experienced. You had the support, whether it was in Slack or Zoom, for anyone right away. I mean, nights, weekends, they're always there to answer your question. You're always part of a team and you're always important. So that was definitely important to me. You're in the bullpen, in the excitement all the time, whether you're just, it's a day full of just lectures or you're collaborating on a team, or my personal favorite, running solo, playing a little lo-fi music and just writing awesome code.
The very first thing that I did, I got it from a tip from someone. I can't remember exactly who it was at DevCode. They said, make a video of your capstone. And I noticed that a lot of your graduates are doing that now, which is awesome, because I actually, that video was seen by a lot of people in the community, and I actually got approached for a contract deal before I was even hired at NM that I looked at for a little while. Those videos are amazing for showing, who you are and what you can do. Obviously your team over there, they kept on me more than I think I kept on them with, here's a guy who wants to give you a job. Here's an interview. Here's another one. I think the day that I accepted my position at Northwestern Mutual, I got a message. I'm trying to remember who from your team messaged me, and he's like, I got another interview for you. Are you ready? We can do an interview today. And I was like, I just accepted a job. So pass it on to someone else. I made it clear I did not know any C# before I went to Bootcamp. And there I was 12 weeks, 14 weeks later with this finished product that, like you said, it was amazing to me, and I think everyone else who saw the video.
I definitely wasn't expecting this kind of like a boot camp, because I was more of a self-learner at the time. This was back in May. I was looking into boot camps. I was starting to code a little bit more, and I was on my break from work, and I just wanted to look into something. So when I looked into Dev Code Camp, I noticed the instructors, but I didn't really understand it until I finally got into it. And that's where it felt like it was definitely a necessity, having that one-on-one connection with the instructors. Because, I would be, hey, I need a question answered at maybe 5:30 or 6, 7, whatever time it was. And I would get a response, almost instantly, or I would explain it, wait a little bit, which was understandable. I think the most important thing that I've ever taken away is that these aren't just instructors, is that they're people too. And, especially I want to give a big shout out to Tony here from Dev Code, because it was fantastic. Because sometimes after class, maybe 10, 11 o'clock, I'd hit him up, we'd get into a Zoom call and stuff, and we'd just talk about stuff for maybe the next hour or two. And it was probably the most personal thing I could relate to. It wasn't just, oh, these people are just here for coding questions. I mean, these are people too, and learning about them was definitely the best experience I've had.
For a long time, I had tried and failed at learning how to code, and I had thought to myself that I couldn't really do it, and just being able to prove to myself that I could do it, and pass the course and then eventually get a job doing software engineering, that to me was the rewarding part. Being able to prove to myself that it was something I could do.